Commander Zextal clicked his mandibles in what passed for amusement among his species as he watched the newest batch of trainees stumble through the obstacle course. The Galactic Defense Academy's latest recruitment cycle had brought together representatives from 12 different worlds, each eager to prove their worth among the stars. Most eager, perhaps, was the lone human. Marcus Chun moved with a peculiar grace that Zextal found both fascinating and unsettling. While the Velkari trainees renowned for their agility gasped for breath in the Standard 1, 2G training environment, and the thick-skinned Granians complained about the oppressive conditions, the humans seemed almost bored. Increase gravity to 1.5, Zextal murmured to his assistant, Instructor Krill. Let's see how our diverse recruits handle a real challenge. Krill's eye stalks swiveled nervously. Sir, that exceeds safety protocols for most species present. Nonsense? Emergency situations don't follow safety protocols. Zextal's 4. Arms moved in a dismissive gesture. Besides, it will be educational. The gravity field hummed as it intensified. Immediately, half the trainees collapsed or moved to emergency positions. The Velkari began hyperventilating their hollow bones, struggling against the increased weight. 2 crystalline beings simply stopped moving altogether, their energy-based physiology unable to maintain coherent form under the stress. But Marcus Chun didn't even pause. He continued through the obstacle course with the same steady rhythm, vaulting over barriers that now pressed down with crushing force, scaling walls that should have been impossible to climb. If anything, he seemed more focused, more determined. Fascinating, Zextal muttered, leaning forward in his observation deck. Krill, what's the human's homeworld gravity again? Earth registers at 1, 0G standard commander. Exactly baseline. Then how is he? Zextal's words died as he watched Marcus complete a series of jumps that should have been impossible for any being not evolved in high gravity. Increase it to 2.0. Sir, Krill's protest was sharp. That could seriously injure. Do it. The gravity field doubled. The remaining trainees who hadn't already withdrawn were now crawling or had collapsed entirely. Medical drones deployed automatically to assist several aliens whose biology simply couldn't cope with twice their evolved standard. Marcus Chun stumbled slightly as the field hit him, then adapted his stance and kept moving. His pace had slowed, certainly, but he was still moving with more capability than most species could manage in their native gravity. Zextal's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of deep confusion among his kind. This is impossible. Run a background check on the human immediately. Data flowed across Krill's console. Marcus Chun, age 23, from a planet called Earth in the Sol system. No genetic modifications on record. Standard human physiology. Previous occupation ... double quotes Krill pause. Mountain rescue specialist and competitive powerlifter. What? Zextal asked slowly. Is powerlifting? Apparently, humans voluntarily place extremely heavy objects on their bodies and attempt to move them for recreation. The commander stared at his assistant. They do this for fun? The records indicate. Yes, sir. And mountain rescue suggests he regularly operated in what they call high altitude, low oxygen environments while carrying additional weight in the form of rescue equipment and injured persons. On the course below, Marcus had reached the final obstacle, a climbing wall that, under double gravity, now presented the equivalent challenge of lifting twice his body weight straight up a vertical surface. He paused for the first time, studying the wall, then began to climb. Sir, Krill ventured hesitantly, perhaps we should increase it to 3.0, Zextal said quietly. Commander, at 3 times standard gravity, most beings would do it. The field engaged. The few remaining conscious trainees were now pressed flat against the floor, unable to move. Medical alerts sounded across the facility as automated systems detected multiple physiological crises. Marcus Chun hit the wall hard, his knees buckling as a sudden increase caught him mid-climb. For a moment, Zextal thought he had finally found the human's limit. Then Marcus looked up at the observation deck, made direct eye contact with the commander through the reinforced transparent aluminum, and smiled. "Triple gravity?" Marcus called out, his voice carrying clearly through the comm system. "Honestly, sir, this feels like home now. My training back on Earth was usually at least this intense. Could you maybe bump it up a little more? I'm trying to set a personal record here." Zextal's forearms fell limply to his sides. "He's asking for more." "Sir, Earth's gravity is listed as 1.0 standard." "How is this possible?" The commander watched in stunned silence as Marcus resumed climbing, moving with steady determination up the wall despite forces that should have crushed most organic beings. "Krill, I want a full scientific analysis of this human's homeworld. Something isn't adding up." "Already running, sir." "And Commander, you might want to see this." Krill's voice carried an odd note. "According to their own records, humans regularly train their military forces under conditions they call adverse. This includes increased weight loads, reduced oxygen, extreme temperatures, and something called sleep deprivation. They do this intentionally to improve performance." "They torture themselves to become stronger?" "Apparently, sir. And there's more. The planet Earth itself seems to be classified as what they term a death world by their own standards. Extreme weather variations, dangerous predatory species, toxic atmospheric components in many regions, unstable geological activity." Marcus reached the top of the climbing wall and rappelled down the other side, completing the course. He wasn't even breathing hard. "And they call this home," Zextal whispered. The human jogged over to the observation deck and looked up expectantly. "So, Commander, what's next?" "This was a great warm-up, but when do we get to the actual training?" Zextal looked at his assistant, then back at the human who was requesting more punishment than they had ever inflicted on any trainee in the Academy's history. "Krill," he said quietly, "I think we're going to need to redesign our entire training program." "Yes, sir. Should I start with quadruple gravity?" Below them, Marcus Chun was doing push-ups while you waited for their response. "Make it 5, Zextal said weakly. "And pray to whatever gods you believe in that the humans never decide. They don't like us."